$100 a month will not make you rich. And that's exactly why almost nobody actually does it. Picture this. It's the 3rd of the month. Your paycheck just landed. You open your banking app, and there's a number sitting there, $100, that you told yourself 3 separate times this year you'd move into an investment account. You don't. Not because you don't have it. Because $100 feels too small to matter and too big to waste on something you might need next week. Here's the strange part. The people who actually got wealthy from investing $100 a month, almost none of them knew in the moment that it was working. So what does that $100 actually turn into? And more importantly, what does doing it month after month turn you into? Stay with me, because the second part of that question is the one nobody talks about. Let's start with the number, because you need to see it once. $100 a month, invested for 30 years at an average market return of 10%, becomes roughly $226,000. You put in $36,000. The market gave you the other $190,000 for free, essentially in exchange for one thing, you not touching it. But here's the twist. That math has existed in personal finance textbooks for decades. Everyone has seen this chart, and yet the vast majority of people who see it still don't do it. Which means the problem was never the math. The problem is somewhere else entirely. For the first 7 years, $100 a month barely moves. At year 5, you might have around $7,700. It looks almost exactly like the money you put in. No magic, no visible reward. This is the part of investing nobody shows you in the highlight reel, the flat, invisible middle where compounding is technically happening, but emotionally, it feels like nothing is happening at all. And this is exactly where most people stop. Not at the start, when motivation is high. Not near the end, when the reward is obvious. They quit in the flat middle, usually within the first 2 years, right when the boring part is testing them the hardest. One survey of retail brokerage accounts found nearly half of new automatic investment plans get canceled before month 18. Not because the market crashed, because nothing happened, and nothing happening felt like failure. Your brain wasn't built for this. It evolved to reward things it can feel today. A purchase, a like, a warm meal. $100 sitting quietly in an index fund gives your brain nothing to feel. No dopamine, no proof. So your brain quietly starts treating investing like a loss and spending like a win, even when the math says the opposite. Think about the last $100 you spent without hesitating. On shoes, a night out, a gadget, you felt it immediately. Excitement, status, relief. Now compare that to $100 disappearing into a brokerage account. Same amount, completely different feeling. One rewards your identity today. The other rewards a version of you that doesn't exist yet. But here's where it gets interesting, because the people who succeed at this didn't have stronger willpower than you. They found something else. Something that made the invisible middle actually visible. The investors who actually reach that $226,000 almost never decide to invest every month. They automated it once and never made the decision again. Because every month you have to choose to invest is a month your brain gets a chance to talk you out of it. Here's the real shift. Somewhere around year 3 or 4, something changes that has nothing to do with the balance. The person doing this stops thinking, I'm someone trying to save money, and starts thinking, I'm someone who invests. That's not a financial shift. That's an identity shift. And identity is the only thing strong enough to survive a decade of boredom. Imagine 2 people, same income, same starting point. One starts at 25, invests $100 a month, and stops entirely at 35, never adding another dollar. The other waits until 35, then invests $100 a month every single month until 65. The one who quit early still ends up with more money. Not because they invested more, because time did what money couldn't. Meanwhile, somebody in your life is buying the newer car, the nicer vacation, the visible upgrade. And some part of you starts asking, am I falling behind? This is loss aversion working against you in reverse. You're so afraid of missing out today that you risk missing out on everything compounding was about to build. Then, without warning, around year 15 to 20, the chart stops looking flat. The same $100 a month that added roughly $200 a year in year 1 is now adding more than that in a single strong month, because the money you never touched has been quietly making its own money for over a decade. This is the part of the curve almost nobody sticks around long enough to see live. This is the actual price of compounding, not the $100. The $100 is easy. The price is enduring years where nothing visibly happens, in exchange for a result that looks, from the outside, like it happened overnight. It didn't happen overnight. It happened in every single month you didn't quit. Studies on long-term retail investors keep finding the same uncomfortable pattern. The accounts with the best returns often belong to people who forgot they had the account, who moved, changed jobs, or simply stopped checking. The investors who checked their balance daily, who reacted to every dip, consistently underperformed the ones who did nothing. Doing less was the strategy. In 2008, the market fell almost 40%. In 2020, it fell over 30% in a matter of weeks. Anyone who panicked and pulled their 100-a-month portfolio out in either crash locked in the loss forever. Anyone who kept clicking invest on autopilot, even while the number on screen looked ugly, bought shares at a discount without even realizing it and came out ahead within a few years. Same event, two completely different outcomes, decided entirely by behavior, not by the market. So why do we check obsessively anyway? Because fear is louder than patience. A 10% market drop feels like danger to a brain built to survive scarcity, even when, for a 25-year investment, that drop is statistically irrelevant. The market doesn't punish you for investing $100 during a crash. It punishes you for panicking and pulling it out, which means the biggest risk in this entire story was never inflation, or a market crash, or picking the wrong fund. The biggest risk was always you, in some ordinary month, deciding $100 wasn't worth it anymore. And this is worth sitting with. Every time you skip that $100 for something that makes you feel good right now, you're not choosing nothing over something. You're choosing a feeling that lasts a weekend over a future that lasts a decade. Neither choice is stupid, but only one of them compounds. Here's one more layer almost nobody mentions. Cash sitting still in a savings account isn't safe. It's quietly losing value every year to inflation. The $100 you don't invest doesn't stay $100 in value. It shrinks. So the real question was never, should I risk $100? It was always, which risk am I willing to take? The visible one or the invisible one? So back to that question from the start. What does the $100 actually turn into? Money, yes. Eventually, real money. But somewhere in year 3 or 4, before the number gets impressive, it turns into something else first. Proof. Proof that you're someone who follows through in a world engineered to make you quit. And that's the part most people never realize. The $100 was never really the investment. The investment was in whether you'd still be the kind of person 12 months from now, who keeps showing up for a future self you can't see yet. So the next time that $100 sits in your account on payday, and some small voice tells you it's too small to matter, remember, the voice is right about the money and wrong about you. Because in 20 years, nobody will remember the $100. They'll only see the person who never stopped.